Hey everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Mostly raining today with occasional sun breaking through. We did go get a load of wood this morning. Our meat birds are getting big. They're almost ready for harvest. We move them every day and you can see the fertilized areas from them, which is good. So I still haven't emptied off the trailer. We don't want to junk up the yard, so I don't know where to put the logs off the trailer, and I've got another load I've got to go haul. So I need to get my mill fired up, start processing them. I've got a very, very heavy load of oak on here. This is wet oak and incredibly heavy, and there's another truckload yet to get. It was raining, so we just hurried up and we cut this all and got one load on, and then I put my tools away, and boy, it rained hard. So we just got finished with a later lunch, and I gotta get this emptied out yet. Right now I'm thinking about either working on the mill or in the garage, but I think the priority is the garage so that I can get my lumber in and start drying. I need drying racks for inside to get some lumber in for a project I want to do. And after that I'll get the mill running, start processing some logs and turn them into lumber. Well, this is going to be firewood for next year here. There's some, actually this will dry out, that's green. That split just the other day when it was knocked down with a tractor, but that'll probably be ready if I leave it out in the sun. There's some in here, very few, that we'll be able to burn this year. Now that it's cut, it'll start cracking and drying up real nice. A few of these, not much. That's just the dead limbs from the tree. So those will be ready for this year. Here and there's a few branches like that. Most of it is live though. As you can see, it's already starting to split just being out in the sun. I just cut it today. It's amazing how fast it starts to form crack lines. It's not cracking yet, but you can see the lines forming. Just cut it this morning. Look at that. You can see the lines starting to form in there. I love that smell. Anyway, I'm going to get on out there and look at that, starting to form cracks. It's amazing how fast that happens. Even though it's been raining. But, oh yeah, I know, one of the things, like this one here, with this unique pattern, because of the knots in it, are going to be awesome for the wood lathe. There's some of the pieces in this tree are just going to be really pretty. And then there's the multicolored, there's the lighter layer, and then the darker layer, like that. That's going to turn out really pretty on a lathe. So some of these branches I might save, depending on how deep they crack. I might put some inside to dry slowly and wax seal the ends and see about using some of that, because the different colors is just going to look really amazing, and the different patterns in some of the grain. It'd be really beautiful turned on the lathe. Well guys, I have a problem. I was just about to go ahead. These 2x4s are dry, and I figured, okay, I'll scrap this in a little bit, but for now I wanted to get some insulation in there just to see and feel good and have it done. Problem, and I thought it looked off when I was working in here. These are not 16 on center studs, neither are they 24 on center. These are 20 inches on center. But I've never heard of 20-inch spacing on your studs. So I don't know why they chose 20 inches. But that means I cannot get any insulation that'll fit in here. To my knowledge, there's nothing designed for 20 on center. It's non-standard. So also the rafters are at least correctly lined up with the studs. But that means I can't just move the studs. I've got to stick with it because you want your snow load to transfer through the studs straight down all the way to the ground. And that's a problem. At least they put a double top plate. That's good. They did that right. And they got bird's mouths on there. Some of it they did right, but 20 on center, I don't know why. So, the only option I think that I have available to me is rigid foam. Because if I put fiberglass insulation sideways, it's all just going to collapse in on itself over time. All the way to the fiberglass, because there won't be any way to really staple it on very well. I mean, sure, I could cut it extra to overlap and have the paper overlapping over the studs. I've done that before and it's a nightmare to work with. It's so much cutting, so much insulation all over you from head to toe, and it's so very, very much work. And there's no guarantee that's going to hold up over time, because you're going to have to peel out some insulation to expose paper to go over the studs, so when you put your paneling on, it'll hold in and not sag down and collapse in on itself. So I guess rigid foam is the only way it's going to have to be. So I'm going to have to just get to it, I guess. That or don't insulate. I don't know. I think that insulation is going to be a benefit here, and I think I need it. So I think that's my only choice right now, is to steal the rigid foam insulation from the store and then replenish that later, so I can at least get this started and get going in here. But those are, I think I have to check the R factor on that, but I think I'll just put one layer of rigid foam in between each wall stud for now, and then eventually I'm going to have to get that roof too. That'll have to be rigid foam, because there's no way I'm going to get people can do it with scaffolding and stuff and platforms, but again, 20 on center, I'm not messing with it. That's going to have to be rigid foam. So I think that's what I'm up to now. Cutting styrofoam is probably what it's going to be. Nope, not going to work. I only have 8 sheets in the store, and I need 10, 13, not counting the door, the garage door. I need 13 alone, just not counting the garage door. I'll probably put some rigid foam on the door though and fasten it for insulation later on that alone, but for now I'm going to have to go with sideways insulation and just tack it in really good. A lot of overlap over the studs and a lot of cutting and handling of insulation, which I hate to do, but that's what's going to have to be. Fill these up. I put down some ant and roach killer. This is what I'm going to do everywhere. Ants, termites, fleas, roaches, whatever. Anything gets in there, they'll be killed. And I'm going to put that in every wall cavity. I guess I have to do the fiberglass sideways. Is the only way to go. Now I'm left thinking about how best to use my paneling, because I'll be cutting in every 2 studs, I'll be cutting off 8 inches from the side, wasting, because it's only 40 inches center to center. I'll be wasting 8 inches per piece, and it's a lot at the end of the wall. If I put them sideways, when I start here, I can get an 8-footer somewhere around up in here, and I'll only be cutting a 1/2 inch off the way this is set up with a shorter section. So I might put them sideways in the ends. I don't know, I gotta figure it out, because I want to figure how to use my materials best with the least amount of waste. I might end up putting the paneling sideways for maximum coverage per sheet, and then maybe put pegboard up top. So now I gotta go in and sit down and think about this a while, because this changes everything on me. Well, I'm gonna cut myself a piece of wood to fit here. I measured it and marked it, and now that I've went and got the camera set up, I noticed there's other markings on this board, so I don't know which was the one I'm going to use right now. That's funny. I'm recycling some wood from another project. This was the wood from our store. Well, hopefully that'll fit in the slot over here behind me. Take you over here. Is it gonna fit? Let's see. Yes. It's gonna fit. Now, here I'm gonna have to cut a slot to fit that, one of these here. I'm hoping to indent it some and mark it. Oh, that worked, but why is there two? How did that happen? How is there two marks? That doesn't make sense. What did I hit? Nothing. That doesn't make sense. This, oh, I don't know how that happened. Anyway, that's the one. So I've got to notch this out a little bit. 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches in. So I have to notch it in about 2 1/4 inches from that point. Hate to cut it that deep, but I guess it's better than making 2 separate pieces. Whatever. So I'm gonna notch that with the circular saw up to here, turn around and hit it again, and then see if I can chisel that out. Unfortunately, I'm working in very tight space here because my garage is full of stuff until I get done. Ah, I didn't see the sawdust covered it. Oh well, at least it didn't cut far in. That's alright. Now, be awesome if I had my wood shop set up for this. You know? I don't even have a proper chisel at this time. Somewhere I do. I can hit that with a sawzall. Make it flat. Yeah, I need something a little bit better for that. Oh, there we go. That worked. Let's see if it fits.